Right. Now let's take a look at how to build ad sets, okay? So just now we were built the campaign, and to dig into the ad set, if we're still in this menu, cool. The second one is the ad set. If you're not, if you clicked out of it, if you exit the page or whatever, you have your campaign here. Let me exit out of these. You have your campaign tab here. So now you have that campaign tab with your one campaign in it for lead generation. You can just go straight to the ad set tab if you wanted to start working on the ad set. You can see that underneath the title, there is nothing under it until you put your cursor there. Then you have this edit button. This is how you're going to edit it. If you just click the name, it'll bring you to the next section. And you see it's selecting each thing. So if you were just in campaign and you clicked the title, it would bring you to the ad set, and they're both selected. So it being selected doesn't really matter. It's just what it's going to show you when you're looking at data. So I'll show you that later. But it's important that we're in the ad set and we click edit. So it brings you back to the same exact menu. So whether you were in the menu already, you can switch to campaign, you can switch to ad set here, or you can go to ad set here, and then, so I just did it, and then click edit right there. So I just want to show you a lot of different ways to get into it, because I don't want you to think it's like very strict or stringent for you to get into here one way. And we're building it in like the back end system. Like there's all these other ways to make it so much easier, but when it's easy, it's not efficient, it's not effective. Your ads don't work as good. Trust me, I've been in so many different campaigns from other people, and doing it this way allows you to get much more complex. Yes, it is slightly more time consuming, but until you get better at it. So if you want the easy way out, let me know. I can give you some easy things to do. But if you really want ads that perform, this is the way to do it. So we're in our ad set right now. You see the ad set name, still it's the same as the campaign name. And then you have your Facebook page. If this is a new campaign right here, you're gonna have to accept these terms and agreements. So go ahead and read them, because we all know you're gonna read them, and click accept. That's very important. You can't run ads if you don't accept those terms and agreements. There'll also be something else you have to do later too. So for the budget and schedule, there's daily budget or there's lifetime budget. So if you wanted to run, for example, your campaign over 1 month and your ad set was $1,000, then it would go from January 21st, today, well, I'm filming this, to February 21st, 1 month. If you do daily budget, it's going to spend that amount about every day. So what I typically do, because I like my campaigns to run for a long time. Like I'm going to keep editing them, keep optimizing them, and keep changing them. I don't just build a new campaign like every single month. I think it works a lot better with Facebook's algorithm when you do a daily budget and then keep optimizing them over as time goes on. So let's say I have $1,000 a month in ad spend. Well, if I divide that by about 30 days in the month, it comes out to $33 per day. So I'm going to do daily spend, and I'm going to do this at $30 a day, because Facebook, this is a budget, and we're auctioning, and auctioning the bids just means Facebook is going to show your ads at different costs, and it might go a little over budget. So I set 30 because it might go up to 35. I'm not really strict on that budget. I want to spend about $1,000 is what I say. If $1,000 is very, very limit, then maybe drop this down to like $25 a day. So I don't want to run on a schedule. I just like it as ongoing. I keep up to date with my ads. I always look at them. If you don't think you're going to come in here, or you're scared you might forget about them, go ahead and set a date here. That's totally fine. I don't forget about my ads. I haven't before, but it would probably suck if I, forgot about them for a month and then spent an extra grand and they weren't performing or something. So if we scroll down to the audience, you have these custom audience groups. We have not built any yet, so we're not going to focus on anything there. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Think about locations. If you're a local gym in Denver, Colorado, it pulls up this radius around here. So what I would recommend, if you have a very local business, to put your actual business address in here, and then, maybe put 15 miles around. It depends on, you'll know your area, or you should ask your client, if you're a marketer, about the radius around their location and how willing people are to drive a distance. Because, like I said, if it's a gym or something like that, people won't drive, a few hours to go to a gym. That's ridiculous. People might drive like an hour or a couple hours for a tattoo removal clinic that they trust, or a specific med spa. So some businesses, they will travel further. And let's say this gym is all ages, that would work. But if it's a Pilates studio or something like that, maybe they're trying to get some younger people, but they don't think they'll get 18-year-olds, and they'll definitely get people that are 60 and over. So you can always choose the ages in here. You can be gender specific if you wanted. So if you have a facial product strictly for women, you do want to make sure that you target women for that. Because if you're saying everything about women, like, women, this is an incredible, facial cream that, whatever you're going to say about this facial cream, okay? I don't know anything about women's facial creams. My girlfriend tells me I need to put more creams on my face and lotions and stuff. But anyway, so I'm just going to leave all, because if you're focusing this towards women and all your ads are geared towards women, but you have it focused towards all, you're going to waste a bunch of money on men. So make sure that this is set to what your ads are going to run. Usually people keep it at all. If you don't choose language, it'll automatically be English. I don't really ever click anything. I don't run any ads in different languages. I don't speak any languages other than English, and I'm not even that good at speaking English. So then we have detailed targeting here. So we used to be very specific. Facebook keeps changing this. This is constantly changing, but we want to make sure that we're being a little more broad. I've spoken with a lot of people at Facebook, and it's better to be broad and then over time get more specific. So when your Facebook ads just launch, boom, you might not be getting people in right away, okay? You might have to work with Facebook's algorithm over time and allow Facebook to really see who's interacting with your business. So if we're just still going off this, gym analogy, we do want to search for things that could be based off of somebody coming into a gym, but you do have options here. So you have demographics, interests, and behaviors. We used to have so many options for behaviors. I mean, so many options, but they've really limited it down. So, for example, purchase behavior, it's just whether or not shoppers are engaged. So I don't necessarily click anything in these behaviors anymore. There are some things that could be useful, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time in there right now. You have interests. So this is whether or not someone is interested in something. So if this is a gym, obviously, I want people that are interested in fitness and wellness. I could click select all, but I don't typically do that. So people that could be interested in physical exercise, physical fitness, and I'll start adding them right here. Okay. So there's a lot of different tabs you can click open. I would recommend clicking them open and spending some time looking at them. So cuisine, if it's a restaurant, you can make sure that people, it's an Indian restaurant, people love Indian food. So spend time looking through these each time you're building a campaign to make sure you choose the right targeting demographics. You can go in here as well if you wanted. Also, you can search here. So if I wanted people that are interested in weight loss, I have the options that come up right here. So you can see that there's a box to the right that's popping up right here, the size of the group, and it's telling you the interests. So it's saying people that have, mentioned additional interests as extreme weight loss. So I would look at the size as well. You'll see some that are very small, like Stillman Diet is 3,000. Now, if you really want to be very specific with your ads, you can, but you do want to choose a more of a broad audience. So it's good if this arrow is here or it's a little higher. If it's too specific, your ads are going to cost a lot of money. So spending a lot of time on this, what I would like you to do and what you should do is spend time looking at it and choosing a lot of different options in your targeting, a lot of them. So then I don't typically like narrow my audience or anything else. It's that's where I go, is just find a lot of places when I'm initially starting a campaign, a lot of different targeting demographics. So if you go down here to placement, you can just do automatic placement. Typically, I recommend that, as well as Facebook does as also. You can click edit placements. For example, if you don't have an Instagram page, you can turn your Instagram page off. And then each one of these has a different function. So if someone's just scrolling down Facebook, this is the feed. This is the typical feed. What I recommend is keeping it at automatic placements, just because it makes it so much easier, and you get Facebook is working with the algorithm to get you the lowest cost per bid. So each person that comes to you, you want to get that as low as possible. So one lead, you want to lower that cost. Maybe you'll start getting leads at $50 right when you're starting off, but you want to keep getting that lower. So you want to get them down to $25 per lead if you're a roofer. So $25 a lead sounds great. They're coming directly to your business. So we do want to make sure that we're getting those lowest cost, and automatic placements will ensure that we're getting them at a great low cost. And then I always have this to charge me for impressions. And you can see how many people it's estimated to reach a day. I wouldn't necessarily go off of this number. Really, you do have to find out and keep track of your data to see if people are, coming into your business, if they're signing that form, if they're looking at the ads, if they're clicking on it. I'll give you a little bit more of that later down the road and how to read data. But just for now, I wanted to go through the ad set and how to build it. So now let's move on to the ads.